conflict in relationships is ripe with judgment. And oftentimes, judgment is what leads to conflict. Assumption is what leads to conflict because we're not seeing the other clearly and we're just filling the blanks with some projections, childhood wounds, whatever it might be, unmet needs, and there goes the movie that is detached from the reality as it is. So conflict in truth is actually a massive opportunity for growth and clarity. Conflict forces us to confront the shadow aspects of ourselves, of the people in our lives, and transcend judgment into a deeper connection. The thing that conflict does is it often provides a stimulus, and growth is the result of a stimulus. If it was only easy peasy, if there was no stimulus, there would be no growth. So may this also, even just that, be a shift in perspective of you judging conflict as bad, to be able to see it as a necessary catalyst for growth a lot of the time. And there is a way to go about conflict in a conscious way, absolutely. There is also a way to go about conflict in a way that perpetuates the issue. And I'm no master at conflict, but I am definitely a lot better at it than before. I used to be very conflict avoidant, didn't want a second of drama, of conflict, but I resisted it massively and it unconsciously ended up feeding parts of me that were then looking for conflict, looking for drama unconsciously. So that's a thing. But conflict can be a mirror of our unresolved inner dynamics. For example, if we feel unheard, this might stem from deeper wounds of being neglected or abandoned in some sense emotionally as a child. And we can approach the conflict with curiosity as well, rather than defensiveness, and uncover underlying truths, about ourselves, about the situation, so we don't blindly judge. Conflict then becomes an opportunity for intimacy, as I said, because it allows both sides, whoever's in the conflict, to express their truth and co-create solutions that can honor both sides. Okay? And to do that, we got to be able to manage our emotional reactivity. And that's what I'm saying about judgment and the capacity to not blindly react. It's the same thing in conflict. If we can access a state of curiosity, of acceptance, then we can see the situation more clearly, and conflict then can become a really productive thing rather than a wound factory. Emotional maturity gives us choice for how to respond. Otherwise, constant anger, constant defensiveness, constant blaming the outside becomes a leakage of our power. Why? Because we're in the drama triangle. Victim, persecutor, rescuer. The problem is out there. I'm the victim of this situation. That's that. Someone else rescue me. And there are real situations where there are victims and there are perpetrators. Absolutely. On a more cognitive, emotional level, this is an insidious thing where we're just unconsciously in the drama triangle. And the conflict doesn't actually become a productive thing. It just becomes a painful thing, an annoying thorn in our side. And that again is where the curiosity comes in. The curiosity can allow us to be in a reasoned state, to step outside of our immediate emotional response and blind reactions, and to view the situation from the high vantage point, right? We can see the outer concentric circles. So we don't see the other then as an adversary, but as a collaborator in the process of growth and healing. So again, conflict can become a sacred teacher. Through the fires of disagreement, we can forge deeper levels of understanding, compassion, and love. Fire also elementally as focus, as forethought. And the sword of the mind is tempered by fire, shaped by fire. So to wrap up, reiterating a few of those practical steps to navigate conflict without so much judgment and with more clarity and love. Seek to understand before being understood. Encourage listening, right? Before blindly just rapidly expressing your own. Know that there is another perspective, that your perspective is partial, because there's whoever's involved in the conflict, their perspective, even if you really disagree, it's also valid because it's their reality. So that can help. Like I've said before, pause. Take a pause if you need. Time out. Reflect. Take a step back. If you need time to just breathe and discharge because you're really angry and you know that being in that state, just fire adds to fire, fine. Pause. Prevent escalation. Prevent the onslaught of blind judgments. Practice empathy. What are they feeling in this moment? It can shift the focus from blame to understanding, to connection, to empathy. Right? Assumption, curiosity. Assumption, curiosity. And focus on solutions. Shift the focus from all these problems to finding mutually beneficial solutions. Using I statements where possible instead of "you never listen to me" to "I feel unheard and I would like us to explore how we can improve our communication." Whoa, solution focus, good job. And practice, and practice, and practice. Conflict, judgments, they're not the end of love, but can be a renewal where we learn about ourselves, we learn about the relationships with friends, with boss, with partner, with life itself. And with that awareness, we can access reason and we can access love, truth.